You're listening to the Spirit Podcast.
Welcome back to the Spirit, the podcast that dares to dig deep into the weird, the wild, and the wonderfully metaphysical. I'm your host, Beck, and joining me, as always, is the radiant, ever-curious Rachel.
Why, hello, everyone.
Hey, Rach, how's it going?
Hey, I'm freezing.
Oh, I keep the heat in the office like David Letterman kept it in the studio. There is none.
And not to mention, it's a beautiful April day and it is a blizzard outside.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous. It's supposed to be April showers bring May flowers, but it's April snowstorms brings Rachel's cold feet right now. Yeah. Can you see your breath, Rach?
Yes, I can.
Well, today we're peeling back the psychic curtain to talk about something that most of us have felt, even if we couldn't name it. Ever walked away from a conversation feeling like your soul just ran a marathon? Or suddenly found yourself anxious, foggy, or unusually fatigued for no reason at all? That's me every day, pretty much. You might have been under psychic attack or in the company of an energy vampire. Don't worry, we're lighting candles, casting the salt circle, and unpacking it all. So get comfy, pour some protective tea. Mugwort, anyone? And let's walk into the shadows together. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a psychic attack? A psychic attack is a form of energetic intrusion or manipulation, where someone consciously or unconsciously sends negative energy towards you. That energy can manifest emotionally, mentally, physically, or even spiritually. It's the metaphysical version of someone throwing daggers at your aura. It might come from an angry ex or a jealous friend stewing in resentment, a stranger on social media directing hateful intent, or even your own thoughts looping into self-sabotage, especially if you're energetically sensitive. Rach, have you ever had a moment where you just knew someone was sending you bad energy, even if they never said a word?
Oh, hell yeah. I had a fallout with somebody very close to, and they definitely had a lot of powerful energy. And after the fallout, it went to hell. My car just died pretty much. I was having a lot of bad luck, and there was a lot of misfortune going on, and I had to do a lot of rebalancing that out and protection to get that under control. It was insane.
How did you know they were sending you that bad energy, though?
Well, you kind of just know that they are a certain type of person, definitely energy vampire, and I just know what they were capable of. They were definitely really strong at manifesting at what they wanted. So when that stuff was happening, whether they were putting that intention out there or not, just that energy of being upset or mad at me, that was coming at me.
Yeah, I feel that too. Maybe as empaths, we feel that more. It's like they don't even need to say anything, but you can just feel it radiating off them without words.
Oh, yeah.
Now let's talk about energy vampires. Those folks who don't need to yell, curse, or even consciously hate you, but man, do they drain you. You know the type, the chronic complainer, the victim who refuses to heal, the narcissist who always makes everything about them, or the one who needs your help 24/7 but never gives anything back.
And I'll tell you, if you work in retail or the service industry like myself, I had no idea when I started my career what the hell a energy vampire was. I didn't even know what narcissists were or anything. And I would be so drained of my energy force, my life force every single day, to the point where I didn't know if I could be doing what I was doing until I learned the ways.
The
code.
Well, I have a friend that actually worked in the industry as they call it, which she was a waitress. And she was constantly under barrage from people's negative energy. And I would tell her, you got to surround yourself with some light here, protection. You're going to have to do something because you're soaking it all in and it's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, working with the community, people, customer service, like you said, any of those jobs, you are so open to these people and they are everywhere. There's more of them than we know.
Especially when you're in retail and you are stuck in just this open area and you can't go anywhere. Those people know and they go seek you out and you are trapped.
It's true. They do know. These folks need attention, drama, sympathy, admiration, and your life force. What makes it tricky? Sometimes they're family or coworkers or even spiritual teachers. I once knew someone who seemed magnetic at first, super spiritual, claimed to be clairvoyant, but every time I spent time around them, I'd feel physically ill. Later, I realized they were stirring up drama between people and subtly feeding off the emotional chaos like a metaphysical buffet. What's your take? Do you think energy vampires know they're doing it, or is it more of a subconscious thing?
I think it depends on the person, depending on what type of energy vampire. The chronic complainers, sometimes I think they get just stuck. They are stuck in the loop and they unknowingly are addicted to the feeling of being the victim. That's what Joe Dispenza explains. People become addicted to the feelings of these certain emotions and energies. Sometimes I don't think they realize it, but the people who stir up the problems, the narcissists,
The shit starters?
yeah, the ones who live and thrive off of the drama and they start things or they nudge, or the gaslighters who will make those comments that know it's going to upset you. And then when you get riled up, they're just like, oh, I'm just kidding. It was just a joke. They know what they're doing.
I do think there are people that don't know they're doing it and they just exist that way. Like they were born like that. And they just are that way. But I think most of them, like you said, know what they're doing.
Yes, some people, they don't know. Some people are just wildly toxic and draining and they don't know. But I think a lot of people over time, they figure it out and they know
The buttons to push.
Yeah, and they know they're getting their feed and they know it's entertainment for them. They know that they're getting the entertainment off of it. And some people don't know, and then some people do.
Well, let's run through some red flags. If any of these are happening to you consistently, it might be more than just burnout. Sudden mood swings or intense anxiety without an obvious trigger. Feeling exhausted after being around a specific person. Waking up between 3 to 4 a.m. with nightmares or panic. Random aches, brain fog, or even unexplainable nausea. Feeling watched or having intrusive, disturbing thoughts. A pattern of electronic interference, broken objects, or energy disturbances. These aren't just metaphysical melodramas. They can have real impact. Rach, have you noticed any of these signs after certain interactions or anything weirder, like tech acting up?
The tech acting up, not so much, but the anxiety, if you talk to a certain person, you feel this anxiety or you feel like you're being judged. That's a horrible feeling. You just feel like you're under someone's microscope. Maybe you feel headaches coming on and body aches and you just feel completely drained. I think the worst ones too is if you're out somewhere and someone calls you, you answer it just to be courteous and you're like, hey, I can't really talk. Can I call you back? And then they consume it. They consume you. Like they don't even, they just like bulldoze over it and keep talking. And you're like, no.
The people that you freak out about not wanting to talk to are the worst because those are the ones you know, oh God, if I talk to this person, I just know what this is going to turn into. So I try to avoid it, which is the Irish in me. I don't know if you know much about the Irish, but we have a thing called Irish goodbyes. Have you heard of such a thing?
Oh, yes. I am a fellow Irish woman
Okay,
myself.
so do you do Irish goodbyes? I was infamous for just leaving situations and walking right out because I just couldn't deal with the energy. So if I was at a bar with a bunch of friends and I wasn't feeling it, I'd walk home.
I love a good old-fashioned Irish goodbye. It's like a game now. It's like, let's see if we can Irish goodbye and nobody sees us.
Yes, we don't have to hug everyone and say goodbye, do we? Can we just kind of slip out the side door?
Yeah, it depends on the situation, like especially at a big party, you're like, let's just get out of here.
Yeah, because it's going to take an hour to go around and just do that. And it's so much energy. Like, I know sometimes you have to and sometimes you want to, but most of the time I don't. I just don't want the ick. And there's an energy vampire, 1 out of every 3, it seems. Psychic attacks aren't always cinematic hexes with goats and incense. They range from subtle to severe. Thought form projections. Someone intensely thinking negatively about you, creating a psychic imprint. I've had that, where someone thought very badly of me and I felt it from far away. And then I'd find out from a friend who would say, this person was talking shit about you. And I just knew it. I knew it. That was a thought form projection. I felt that. I was intuitive enough to feel it.
That's kind of the shitty part of being intuitive sometimes, is picking up on what their real intentions or how they really feel towards you. And you're like, oh shit, they're not happy for me right now.
Then there's dreams infiltration, attacks or disturbing interactions in dreamscapes, especially when lucid or during sleep paralysis. Have you had that?
Yeah, I've had it a few times, and it has definitely been because of a psychic attack. Usually it's if I go into a big crowded area or some kind of event where there's a lot of people that I don't know. There's a lot of energies there that I'm not familiar with. So every time I go to a certain event, psychic fairs too, especially when I get home from being in big crowds, I have to cleanse myself. I have to cleanse my home, or I'll experience something like that. And it's very frightening and it is very violating.
Yeah, there's a lot of those psychic vampire people. It's never enough for them. They want more and they just keep coming back for more and more. And it's draining and it's exhausting. You've given it everything you can because you just want to be this good person. Move on. I've given you everything. You just have to go from here on your own.
So there's an author. Her name's Michelle Bellinger.
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 Yeah.
Yes. I've read her book, Psychic Dreamwalking, and she touches on energy vampirism, because we can feed off people's energies. There's an ethical way of doing it. So one way, if you're at a party and everybody's having a high vibrational time and you're just kind of in the crowd, just feeding off the energy, that's an ethical way. You can ask somebody permission to actually feed off their energy, and that's an ethical way.
I think I remember Michelle. I think it's Bellinger or something weird like that's French.
Bellinger.
But isn't she from that show?
Paranormal State.
That's it. I remember her, yes.
Lorraine Warren would be on that show too.
And Ryan, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
I loved that show. Yeah. Her Psychic Dreamwalking book is really cool. But she mentions psychic attacks and things like that with your dreaming as well, and protecting yourself because people can kind of invade your space.
For sure. Which leads us to cords and hooks. Energetic attachments people leave in your field.
Cut the cord.
These siphon your energy until they're cut.
And that's something even myself, I forget about it. And you really should do it every night.
I think so.
You think of everybody you've interacted for the day and then just send it all back to them.
Deliberate ritual magic. The rarest. But yes, intentional dark magic exists. It's usually layered in jealousy, obsession, or revenge. Well, we've seen that. We saw a TikTok not too long ago at the Super Bowl where a woman was sitting there with a voodoo doll of the quarterback of the team, just stabbing it with a pin.
Which is like, what?
It's a sport.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I get people love sports, but that's just a whole nother level. What are your thoughts on dream-based attacks? Do you think our dream space is just as vulnerable as our waking aura?
Absolutely. Especially, we are out of our bodies during it, and people can access you even easier through the dream realm. You don't have to answer your phone. You don't have to open your door, but it's a little bit different when you're dreaming. And if someone has that intention, they can get in there. And sometimes it's not just your ex-friend popping up in your dream saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's a force. There have been times I have woken up and it's like I'm in my bed and I'm just being held down and I can't scream, I can't move, and it's just a very frightening experience. I know it's specifically a psychic attack. You wake up and you just feel it on you.
There's power in all this. You think about the power of prayer. We've seen it do miracles, but that power of that psychic energy and those bad thoughts that people put out there, what it does to us in the psyche, how it sticks to our fields. And if we don't constantly keep on it, cutting cords, setting energetic boundaries, we absorb that shit daily. Yeah. And then we walk through our life exhausted and drained and feeling desperate and depressed. It's horrible.
And sometimes it's not even the event I was at, but I shared a lot of photos of the event that I was at. And you really have to be careful about what you put on your social media and what you share with people, because so many people
hating.
Yes. Like they are secretly hating against you. So if you share some photos of yourself and you're looking great and you're having fun and you're with your significant other and you guys look like you're really happy, and then you have a really freaky dream that you feel like you're getting attacked that night, that's because people were just shooting that evil eye at you.
Hurt people hurt people.
Hey, Spirit Seekers. Enjoying the show? Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the Spirit. Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify and share the love. We drop a new video every week on our YouTube channel covering paranormal, conspiracy, high strangeness, and more. Have questions or want to share your own spooky story? Drop us a line at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. Stay spirited.
There are very few people that are supportive and loving of everything you do. They want to see you succeed. They celebrate your victories. It seems like there's an awful lot more that are envious of your situation. You see that vacation photo of someone on the beach and you're like, why isn't that me? What the hell did they do to deserve this? It's coming out of people and they don't even know it. And then it's bleeding onto you.
A little tip for the listeners out there. If you really want to know how someone feels about you, this is a little something I learned from Robert Greene. The micro expression. You want to see if somebody actually is rooting for you or against you, do this little test. Tell them something good about you. Like tell them a good news about you and instantly see their micro expression. Did they frown and then smile? And then tell them something bad that happened to you. Did they smile first, then look concerned? In a fraction of a moment, you will see how they really feel, and you'll know.
Well, now that we've danced through the dark, let's talk about the light. The good news, you are not powerless.
Oh, no, you're not.
You don't need to be a high priestess of the ninth dimension or a seasoned shaman to protect your energy field. You just need awareness, intention, and a few well-chosen tools. Let's walk through some of the simple but powerful practices you can start using today, and more importantly, why they work. Daily energy hygiene. Think of this like brushing your energetic teeth. Every morning, or even before bed, take a few minutes to center yourself. Close your eyes and visualize a golden light pouring over you like sunlight or honey. See it surrounding you, filling every cell, pushing out anything that doesn't belong. And why does this work? Visualization activates the subconscious mind and sets a clear intention. The aura, the energetic field surrounding your body, responds strongly to visualization. Why can't I say visualization? Am I saying that correctly? Visualization.
Visualization.
You get it. And emotion. When you visualize golden light, you're actually reinforcing the strength and cohesion in your field.
It does feel very nice to envision the golden light.
And some people, they can't really do that. They can't envision things. It's just not in them. Mm-hmm. So you can do other things. You can cleanse your energy by using smoke from sacred herbs like sage or Palo Santo, or using sound like a singing bowl, a chime, or even clapping.
Clapping actually is really good to clear your aura around you.
Certain plant smokes and vibrations disrupt stagnant or negative energy. They help reset the field, they clear emotional residue, and then they recalibrate your space, like shaking the etch-a-sketch of your aura.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's protective symbols. Symbols have been used in every culture to guard against spiritual attack. Wearing or carrying objects like evil eye, which you have, Rach.
Always wear it on the right wrist.
You heard it here, folks. St. Benedict medal or obsidian pendant isn't just superstition. It's a way to tap into the thousands of years of collective belief and energetic power.
Just know, too, when you wear these items and these stones, if your bracelet or your necklace, if it breaks, if it falls, if it shatters, if it's a ring and it breaks, know that it's not because you're cursed or something like that. It just took in as much as it could and it's done its job. So now it's just time to get a new one.
Symbols hold what's called egregoric energy, the power of all the intention and faith poured into them over generations. Obsidian, for instance, is a volcanic glass believed to absorb and transmute harmful energy. The evil eye reflects ill will back to its sender. And the St. Benedict medal is literally inscribed with an exorcism prayer. These aren't just pretty trinkets. They're portable shields. Let's talk about your metaphysical besties. Mm-hmm. Black tourmaline is like the bouncer of your aura. Labradorite is your invisibility cloak. Amethyst, that's your psychic chill pill. I have amethyst around my neck right now. I wear it daily.
It's good with dreams, too.
It is. Why does this work? Well, crystals have stable molecular structures and piezoelectric properties. They actually emit frequencies. Think about it. They're inside of computers. They're inside of telephones. Mm-hmm. When you hold or wear them, your body's electromagnetic field begins to resonate with that frequency. Black tourmaline grounds excess energy and absorbs negativity. Labradorite strengthens the aura and deflects psychic probing. Amethyst calms the mind and wards off psychic interference. You don't have to believe in fairies to benefit. Just try carrying one for a few days and see what shifts. Throw it in your pocket,
It could help if you believe in the fairies because maybe they got your back, too.
If you're into that kind of thing. There's boundary rituals. You can put salt around your bed, bowls of water by your doors, egg cleanses, spiritual baths. Rach, you know all about that.
The egg cleanse works like a charm.
And then you do spiritual baths as well.
I do. Another good way to know if you have some negative energy coming your way, especially if someone actually put a magical hex on you, is taking a bowl of water. You take 2 matches. You bite the wooden part of the end of the match.
Oh, we're getting witchy now.
Yeah. This is a fun little thing if you want to try it. Bite the ends of the match, light them up, hold them up, and just say, "Am I hexed?" You throw those matches in the bowl of water. If they come to an X, then you most definitely have that against you. If it forms at a T, it means somebody was throwing that energy your way, but they were unsuccessful.
So if it's an X, it's a hex.
Then put a little olive oil on a plate. Put a little drop of water on the olive oil. If the water stays on the olive oil, then it's a masculine energy sending it to you. If the water falls off of the bead of oil, then it's a feminine energy. So take something sharp, stab up that little oil, throw some salt on it, wipe it up with some toilet paper and flush it down the toilet, return to sender. Bing, bang, boom. You're done.
Or you throw a little olive oil on the plate and then you take some Italian bread and you rub it in there and eat that shit. These sound like old folk tales because they are, but they've survived for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Salt is a natural purifier and a conductor. It absorbs and neutralizes energy. Placing a line of salt under your bed or across a threshold, it sets a firm boundary. What's yours is yours. What's not stays out. Hey, you've seen it in the show Supernatural, guys. There's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Water bowls can trap and hold negativity. Change the water every day and dispose of it outside, away from your home. You'd be amazed what collects in there energetically. Rachel and I just did a video actually on the Beyond Files talking about how water holds energy. So you're trapping the energy in the water. You can use that water for good and speak good intentions into it, or it can pull in bad things. Egg cleanses or limpias are a sacred practice in Latin American folk healing. You rub a raw egg over the body, then crack it into the water to read the patterns. It's said to absorb illness, malice, or spiritual toxins. It's an energetic sponge, and sometimes the egg tells stories. Or again, you crack it into a pan and you eat it.
I suggest an egg cleanse at least once a month.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Egg cleanse.
I'm a professional.
Spiritual baths with herbs like rosemary, rue, or hyssop are another way to reset. Think of it as an aura rinse. You don't just wash the body, you wash the soul. Then there's the mantras. I call back my energy from all people, places, and timelines, cleansed and restored. This is a powerful one. Say it out loud, slowly, with intent. Why this works: words are spells. Vibration carries power. This mantra helps sever lingering attachments and returns your energy to you, fully cleansed. It's like unplugging from every socket you've unknowingly been feeding and plugging back into your own source. Try this one before you sleep or after a draining interaction.
A new one that I've picked up that I've been using and I love is say, every time someone speaks my name or has a thought towards me, be good or negative, I attract abundance.
Ooh, that's good.
That is taking that energy, transmuting it, and creating something good for you.
Rachel touched also upon cutting cords, and we all create energetic cords with others, especially through intense emotions. Sometimes those cords stay long after the relationship, conversation, or argument ends. You can visualize these cords, see where they're attached, then either cut them with a beam of light, a sword, or simply pull them out and watch them dissolve. If you lean spiritual, you can also call on Archangel Michael, the protector. Ask him to gently remove any cords thoroughly, contracts, or connections that no longer serve. Why does this work? Cords aren't evil, but they can drain you if the other person is in chaos or if the bond was formed in trauma. Cutting cords isn't about rejecting people. It's about releasing energetic obligations that keep you stuck or depleted. Do you have a favorite go-to practice when you're feeling psychically slimed? Or are you more of a cord cutter, a crystal layer, or do you go full bath witch?
My whole system that I do, I will do the matches in the bowl. I will do an egg cleanse. And after I flush that down and turn that to sender, I will burn sage throughout the whole house and I smudge the house. And then I go bath witch. Bad bitch bath witch.
I love it.
And that is the ultimate cleansing. A lot of times before bed, I do my Reiki symbols. I Reiki the whole room. I Reiki the bed. I Reiki my pillow, my eye mask, and I'll totally clear the whole room out and just set the mood, get the vibes right, and clear that energy too, so I can sleep really well.
I never even thought about Reiki in the pillow.
Hey, you Reiki everything.
Damn. Well, let's share a few short, true-ish tales that might hit close to home. First story I have is called The Friendly Neighbor. A woman in her 40s kept getting sick every time her neighbor visited. Sweet woman always brought cookies, but she'd sit and talk for hours about her pain, her grief, her bad luck. The moment she left, the homeowner would feel dizzy and nauseous. Eventually, a medium told her the neighbor wasn't malicious, but she was unconsciously feeding off her vitality. The next story I have is called The Psychic Who Knew Too Much. A young man started seeing a psychic who offered energy work. Over time, he began losing his sense of self, felt constantly watched, and had terrible dreams. Turns out the practitioner was using his open aura to siphon clarity, luck, and vitality for herself. Once he cut ties and had a cleansing, he felt reborn. Have you heard stories like these, Rach, or experienced anything like that yourself?
Yes. So my first real encounter with someone who was an energy vampire, very narcissistic, didn't know what a narcissist even was, but it's someone I worked very closely with for a few years. When I left work, my thoughts in my head were her voice.
Ooh.
It was so impactful that I could hear her voice as my own self voice because it was just so engulfing. But I've had clients that would come in and it was like just complain, and you'd feel so drained, and even people that you have to see once a week. And I had to learn the boundaries and the protection and to really keep myself, my energy and their energy separated. And now I don't get that anymore, which is good.
It's just such a part of our daily lives, whether you're more empathic like us and you feel it or you don't, and you're just experiencing those strange things like hearing the voice of others in your head or those dark thoughts that came out of nowhere. I think it happens more often than people realize. I don't think they put a label on it or know what it is, though.
So anybody who is experiencing or think they might be experiencing somebody who is an energy vampire, or if you just want to be able to protect yourself for any future encounters with an energy vampire, I highly suggest the book Dodging Energy Vampires by Christine Northrup. Just a little example of people who may be an energy vampire. Key manipulation tactics that they have is being aggressive or covertly aggressive to get their own way. The need to always win. They won't take no for an answer. And if you try to resist, they will wear you down until you give up. Lies that portray them in the best light, no matter what the situation or their real part in it. Super competitiveness and fighting for the upper hand, making sure to always display their power. No straight answers, even to a simple question. For example, they might answer the question, "Can I count on you to pick up the groceries tonight?" with, "You know how tired I get after work." Blaming others for their own hurtful actions and laying guilt trips in order to make you feel bad.
Damn, I think that's half my family.
Oh, shit. So she deep dives into energy vampires and empaths and the relationship between the energy vampire and empath and how to heal yourself, how to recognize it, and how to protect yourself from it. And I actually had picked up that book and started reading it in the middle of a fallout with somebody who was truly an energy vampire. It was very sad when that relationship ended. And then as I kept reading that book, I was like, oh, I'm so relieved that I did end this because I was definitely feeding an energy vampire constantly.
Wow. It happens so often and so unknowingly to all of us. I don't think anyone's left out of this, except for maybe the energy vampire.
Oh, yeah, the energy vampire. Now it's nice. I can help people and they're like, I get so tired or this or that. And I can tell them like, you're an empath. So maybe there's some of you who didn't understand why that one friend came over and you would just feel completely drained and had to go to sleep after they left. Well, know now that it's not in your best interest when they come over. And maybe start researching an empath and what an empath is. And maybe we'll cover that down the road too, specifically about empaths. But I just hope this helps people, because energy vampires are something we deal with on the daily. Even sometimes you're just in the grocery store and they find you. You lock eyes with someone and you're toast.
Let's land the broom gently. Here's the truth. Sensitive souls feel more, but that doesn't mean we have to be vulnerable. You can cultivate an energy field so strong, so sovereign, that psychic attacks bounce off like Nerf darts. It starts with awareness and intention and reclaiming your power. You're not a sponge for the world's emotion. You're a radiant being in command of your field. Here's an affirmation for our listeners. I stand in my full power. I claim my space. I release all that is not mine with love and finality.
And never underestimate the power of saying no. Use your boundaries. They hate the boundaries. So you will notice if you say no to one of their requests, or you don't answer every single phone call, they'll freak out.
Amen to that. That's it for today's journey through the strange, the subtle, and the soul-sucking. If this episode hit a nerve or reminded you of someone you need to gently distance yourself from, trust that nudge, like Rach said. And remember, protection is a practice, not paranoia. Big thanks to Rach for navigating the shadowy path with me today. And to you, dear listener, for keeping your third eye open. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and tell your favorite energy vampire we said hi from a distance. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, and as always,
stay curious.
To the Spirit
Podcast.
Supernatural Science
Aliens. I'm ghost.
Psychic Mystic
Spirit.
Divine Source Heaven The Dead.
it's magic.